Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrusham Tattvamasyarilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Satgurum Tam Namami. Nityanandam again, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ma Nitya Pramayananda, and I'm the Bhautika Brahmacharya of Nityananda order. So behind me, again, if you've seen my earliest videos, you probably know what it is. If you haven't, it's a sacred Arunachala hill, the place of pilgrimage, and what is called Girivalam. So there is the spiritual practice or the pilgrimage of circumambulancing the hill. A very beautiful place. And what I want to talk about today is the third eye. So inner awakening and third eye. So during inner awakening, what Swamiji does, and he's been doing this for the last, I think, couple of years, he was awakening third eye of inner awakening participants. Not only that, because just a couple of weeks ago, during 2 days weekend workshop, he awakened third eye of participants around the world through video conferencing. So this has happened for the first time, and it was very successful. So one of the side effects of awakening the third eye is blindfold reading, or in a different words, is a reading without the physical eyes. And third eye. So third eye, or Anya chakra, which is based just in here, when I've got what is called a bindi, I've got applied jnananjana. So third eye is being located between the eyebrows, and what Swamiji is saying is the browsing center. I'm sorry, it's very windy right now. And why am I talking about it? Because Swamiji underlines again and again, and the scriptures underlines and again, that when you want to actually see the reality as it is, your third eye has to be awakened. And the more it's awakened, the more you see what is real, the more you are anchored in the reality. So also the third eye is the place where all the powers are being located. So it's the place where all the siddhis starts. So what Swamiji does is awakening your third eye. So the benefits of the third eye, awakening of the third eye, is heightened intuition. The reading blindfolded, as I mentioned before. It is the sensitivity to the environment and to the energy around you. Is to see the world as it is, as to see the reality. The third eye and the siddhis. So Swamiji doesn't call them siddhis anymore. He doesn't use the term powers. And why? Because the powers are the effect, or the results, the fruits of the years-long sadhana, the spiritual practice. And what Swamiji calls the so-called, let's say, powers, he calls them Shaktis. And why Shaktis? Because Shaktis are the result of the Shaktipada, which is the connection, the oneness with the Master. And that's something very beautiful, because you are actually connecting with the divine source. So an enlightened being, the avatar of the incarnation here in Swamiji's case, is the embodiment of the pure consciousness. And he takes you into the space of a oneness with him. So the more oneness, the more... Oh, Swamiji was talking, I don't know why I'm talking about it, but Swamiji was talking in more oneness, then more integrity. And without integrity, nothing works, as some of you may know. And it's an amazing, empowering quality, which we in Nityananda Sangha, in Nityananda order, learn and practice on a regular basis. The power Swamiji was initiating people with and what is currently being expressed by people on a regular basis. Every single day, what I hear now, I'm based, as I mentioned, in Tiruvannamalai right now. So Bangalore Adinam is our headquarters in Birdi, near Bangalore, in Karnataka state. And people who are living there right now, so we've got Inner Awakening, which started just yesterday. We have new Adinavasis who joined just over the last couple of months. And those people expressing those Shaktis. So what I hear after puja, and we are connecting with Bangalore every morning for the spiritual practice, for the morning routine, which is yoga and pada puja and then satsang, that actually many of them materialize Jnananjana. So Jnananjana is the sacred paste which actually activates and is filled with the DNA of Swamiji. So it activates and helps your third eye. And this is what is happening. So on a regular basis, on a daily basis, people, and it will be not one person, it will be few people who are materializing. Either will be Jnananjana, they are materialization of pearls. Recently in a I think it was these 2 days workshop, people were materializing pearls and small silver objects and the sacred, what I called powders. They are not really powders, but like vibhuti, which is a sacred ash which I've got to apply on my forehead, and a kumkum, and which you apply on the third eye as well, and it detoxifies and activates it. It's a processed turmeric, and a chandan, which is sandalwood. So this is happening on a regular basis. What we had here in Tiruvannamalai Adinam materialized was vibhuti on Swamiji Parukas on the Purnima. When Swamiji said, just look and you will have in many centers and Adinams, vibhuti, kumkum will be materialized. And it was. And we made a photograph. If you are interested, I can send it over. So this is how the Shaktis are being manifested. So other Shaktis are remote viewing, body scanning. And the body scanning Swamijis are just evolved to the point that he says, when the first time you will be looking and scanning someone's body, there will be diagnosis. However, when you scan the person the second time, a healing will occur. And I remember just a few days before Swamiji said it, I thought about the healing, about actually why not healing at the same time when we are tuning with Swamiji's energy. So whenever we are start to manifest, whenever we are entering the space, so we're entering the Shaktipada, the oneness, the feeling connection with Swamiji, and that's one of the most beautiful experiences. So we are at the same time, when we are practicing, when we are practicing getting used to manifesting powers, manifesting Shaktis, we also practice being in oneness with the avatar, with an enlightened being. And that's undescribable. The energy you are experiencing, and I can feel Swamiji's presence now, is undescribable. If you never had a contact with Swamiji, if you didn't have an opportunity to be in his physical presence, if you haven't been initiated yet, that's one of the most precious and beautiful experiences, and I cannot express it more how beautiful it is. And if you, as me, have been yearning for this energy to be around you, for you to feel it, to express it, to feel it, to experience it, that's something what is absolutely available. So I highly recommend, if you would like more information, please do get in touch, and I can talk to you or just answer your questions. And yes, and I started to talk about it, but I didn't finish. So what Swamiji said, and that's something I personally cannot imagine how is it going to evolve and show. So what Swamiji said as well is, so far, whatever I've done, and so I'm coming back to yes, to the point, was only a dust on my padukas. I haven't even opened a suitcase. So imagine what is going to be. And I remember Swamiji saying, and I also mentioned this in one of my video recordings. If you have, perhaps you've seen it. If not, I'll repeat it, and you might be hearing this again. What Swamiji is reviving is the Vedic education system, and this is for, I think, a decade now, 10 to 12 years. And at the moment there's over 100 children in a Gurukul. So the system is being called Gurukul in Bangalore Adinam. And apart from the kids manifesting all the Shaktis, all the powers, they are first to be initiated, they are practicing on a regular basis, and they are brilliant. So this is basically a new generation growing. And yes, and what Swamiji was saying, that basically he will create, I mean, we call already, and he is calling, agreeing that basically Bangalore Adinam, our headquarters where Swamiji resides, is the Kailash. And Kailash in the invisible realms is the highest space you can be. And you don't want to aim for anything less than that. So the space when you can experience and learn a living enlightenment, the Jivan Mukti. And so what he said, what he envisions, and this is so cool. This is going beyond anything what we as a humanity have experienced. And I'm sorry it's a little bit dark. I will just continue and shortly I will finish. And what he is saying is basically that there will be a person. So all is about the Shaktis, experiencing them, manifesting them, because we are going into the oneness, because we are on the way to enlightenment, and there is more and more people, high-level people, coming into the field of Bangalore Adinam. So if you feel the pull, just don't resist, don't hesitate, and do not postpone. Just come, ask, just go for it. And what he was saying, that basically soon there will be a person who will be standing in the welcome center, and instead of having a ball with a vibhuti and a kumkum, so you can apply on your forehead and your third eye, what will happen? The person will take his hand or her hand, and she or he will manifest it at the front of your eyes for you, the vibhuti and the kumkum. What else he said is that the Gurukul kids, and obviously whoever will be open, whoever will be want to and open and capable to explore this, ready to go there, the people will be flying. The Gurukul kids will be flying. And Swamiji was laughing and saying, you know, you will be flying because there will be just a 3 minutes. If someone asks you, why are you flying? And they will just answer that just because it's very late, and they will just 2 or 3 minutes to the next lesson. That's why. And it may sound crazy, unbelievable, but when we look in the Vedic tradition and all the machinery, all the technology, it was such an advanced civilization, which was through the colonization of the British Empire, through the Mughals, basically it has been destroyed. And India, by the way, was one of the most opulent and wealthy nations existing on planet Earth. So whatever we have created, whatever image has been created by the media, by the, you know, historians who basically the history has been twisted. And so no one remembers, not even Indians remember that they've been wealthy, that they've been actually so advanced. And this is I don't want to say sad, but it is actually sad. So yeah, so that's the future. That's the future. And I wanted to point it just out here, the Varanasi. And Varanasi, the spiritual capital of the world, in the north of India. Varanasi, where we have the people believe when you are leaving the body there, you are going to be liberated. So the place of the pilgrimage as well, the place where the Manika Karnika god exists, when the body are being burned, cremated in masses, when the fire in this crematory hasn't been down for the last 5,000 or 6,000 years, when Swamiji has his death experience. And a death experience is something absolutely amazing, and this is what he does in Awakening as well, which I mentioned, I think, in a previous recording. And I'm sorry that I'm almost invisible, but I'm almost finished. So, Shaktis, if you've been dreaming about the enlightenment, if you've been dreaming about the better world, Swamiji is someone you've been looking for your whole life. Probably, likely, very likely, you have been brought by him here to the planet Earth to incarnate at the time when he is here on the planet Earth. And again, I'm feeling emotional because this is the breakthrough in a human consciousness actually happening. Maybe it doesn't happen as fast as we would like to see. However, it is happening. A new civilization is being created. Although we may not see it yet, it is not so obvious, it is being created. So Gurukul children, and not only that they are manifesting all the Shaktis, and they do also Akashic readings. If you know a little bit about the Akashic readings, you will know that Akashic readings is the record of everything that has happened, happening, or will happen in the whole universe. So they are capable to hook into, to connect to the Lord of Time and Space, whose name is Kalabaireva, and they can answer any question. You can ask him a boon as well. They can tell you whatever you want to know. So this is the power. This is the new generation. This is the new superhumans. Swamiji actually, yes, terms those being as superhumans. Humans who started to manifest Shaktis. Humans who are, because as I mentioned, the Shakti Pada, the Shaktis, are the results of the oneness, are the results of the feeling connection with the Master. So we are evolving to the heart chakra, you know, the moment, the place in the time when many of us have been waiting for. And what I said also before, that you may be the one who's been brought by Swamiji as well. If you feel the pull, by hearing this information, then what Swamiji said, I brought, and he brought the number, which I don't remember right now, many thousands or millions of people who actually, he brought them before he came to the planet Earth, before he was incarnated. During this time when he is incarnated, he will be living for around, he said, 136 years. And he brought many people afterwards, just to hold the space. So if you've been being pulled, if you feel attracted, connected right now, this is the answer. So get in touch, ask any questions you have, and if you want to just jump onto the plane, close everything your whole life, and just decide, okay, I'm coming, I want to live with Swamiji, then the Adinam is open to people who want to be there, who want to be part of an amazing mission, who want to be part of this history in making. Because the incarnation of the magnitude of Swamiji doesn't happen very often. And he says, this is so beautiful, that there is many monasteries, there is many temples, but only very few incarnations. So feel blessed that you are listening to it. Feel blessed that he is there in India, in Bangalore Adinam. Feel blessed that you can make a choice. Feel blessed that your life can jump and you can experience what you've been always dreaming about, the enlightenment, the Jivan Mukti. So thank you very much. It's completely dark. I'm waving to you. Nityanandam in a daylight. Thank you for watching.